Support for SportsPage is provided by the University Store. The University Store is the official headquarters for Mules and Jennies emblem clothing, gifts, and UCM memorabilia.
Coming up on this week's edition of the UCM Sports Page, the Mules and Jennies crowned national champions.
We'll update you on spring sports and wrap up the basketball seasons.
And later in the show, we'll tell you all about the recent baseball inductee into the UCM's Hall of Fame. All of this and more on this week's edition of the UCM Sports Page. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'm Jason Ketz.
And I'm Brianna Blocker. We're going to get you all caught up on the week in UCM athletics.
Coming into the 2014-2015 school year, UCM had crowned 5 national champions in wrestling. Well, now you can make that 6. Senior Frank Cagnina defended his national title at 149 pounds recently at the NCAA Division II National Championships. Alex Agueros has the story.
The Mules needed just 2 wrestlers to finish 11th in the nation at the national tournament March 14th. Frank Cagnina won his 2nd straight Division II national title at 149 pounds.
It's just like the pinnacle, you know, like that's what you train for, to be on that stage, and yeah, it's just a good feeling.
He opened the tournament pinning Zach Vargo 6 minutes into the match. In the quarterfinals, he defeated Ty Liddick of Seton Hill 8-1. and picked up a 9-0 major decision over Nick Goebel in the semifinals.
Yeah, just take it one match at a time, really, you know, like one period at a time, just stay focused in the match and try not to get too like caught up in the crowd and everything else.
In the finals, Cagnina faced a familiar conference opponent in Terrell Wilburn of Lindenwood. Cagnina said the match was a test of his discipline.
Just like, you know, trying to attack, like trying to find some openings, but he wasn't really, he's kind of backing away, so yeah, going in the second period, I just was like, I think I chose down, so I was like, I got to get one right away, and then keep on, you know, just not fall into his game plan. He wanted me like maybe like take a bad shot or, you know, like not wrestle my match. So I just staying focused and like, you know, just grinding away. I knew he was getting tired, and I knew he was gonna do, like, you know, I was gonna get to his legs eventually. So
Cagnina led 3-2 with 5 seconds left in the final period, when he scored 2 more on a takedown to clinch the victory and his 2nd national title.
Yeah, I was excited. I was really excited, you know. The match didn't play out the way I wanted it to, but yeah, I was definitely excited, you know. Win's a win, and it was my 2nd one. I was, you know, I was pumped up.
Cagnina, a senior, finishes his career at Central Missouri 63-3 overall and was 24-1 on the season.
Yeah, I mean, I hopefully got the word out that wrestling's important here, you know. We had a rough year as a team this year, but yeah, I mean, I think that definitely it's looking more positive.
This is Alex Agueros signing off for Sports Page.
Thanks, Alex, and congratulations to Frank Cagnina. Cagnina becomes the 2nd mule to win back-to-back titles, as Mark Burrell won the 126-pound titles in 1989 and 1990.
UCM also claimed a team title over the break. The Jennies and Mules track and field teams traveled to Birmingham, Alabama for the NCAA Division II Indoor National Championships. When the dust settled, the Jennies had their first national title. Adrian Columbus had a chance to visit with a couple of the team members.
Expected to have great teams, great students, great people, and every sport did that here. And I feel like we've finally done our part.
Actually, I was really excited because this was literally the best consistency and the best meet that I've had all year. Weight like I had a really good first meet, and then kind of went downhill after that, but then like it just all clicked. You won it, like your national championship, like your guys' team won it, and it's just like it was super exciting. So I mean, that was like I guess the point, like when Madison cleared it and then Tucker told me. So
I guess I didn't even think about it. Crap. Otherwise it might get super awkward. I'll just try
was happening, and after my 3 first jumps in triple, I had to go to calling in high jump and measure my approach and trying to see when the final was starting, and it was just stressful. And I didn't even know if I was in final because I couldn't hear what the other girls jumped because it was so loud in there. I didn't know that I had won, so I don't know. But after 190, I was so happy. I was like, I was just in shock, I think, because I didn't think I could do that right after the triple, and it was just so cool when the whole crowd was cheering.
And Brittany Kellenberger, who was 6th in the pole vault. Zoe Sharpland was also a national qualifier in the pentathlon. Now, these ladies make up the first ever NCAA national championship team in Jennies track and field history.
Congratulations, Jennies. With the Jennies title, UCM now boasts 19 national champions throughout its history. Mules basketball has 4, Mules baseball has 2, and Jennies basketball and Jennies bowling each have 1.
When we come back, we'll get you caught up on all of our spring sports. We'll also hear from Jennies head softball coach Susan Anderson and Mules baseball coach Kyle Crooks. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Paula Kerger. People tell me their lives have been changed by watching their PBS station. That's what's unique about PBS. We give you and everyone the opportunity to explore new ideas, go places you'd never be able to go, and realize what's possible. I ask you to give to this PBS station so that everyone can experience more, discover more, and be more. Support possibilities. Support KMOS-TV Missouri PBS.
I choose excitement.
I choose to make a difference.
I choose uncommon opportunities.
I choose Red to experience learning to a greater degree.
Choose Red. Choose the University of Central Missouri.
Welcome back to Sports Page on KMOS-TV Missouri PBS.
A lot has happened with our spring sports since we last aired. Let's get you caught up, starting with Jennies softball.
Jennies softball has run its record to 18-8, 4-0 in the conference. The Jennies went 2-2 in their opening tournament in Monticello, Arkansas. They finished 2-3 at the Kelly Loss Memorial in St. Cloud, Minnesota. But then UCM went on an 11-game win streak to up its record to 15-5. Included in that streak was a win over number 15 Rollins. That was the Jennies' first win over a ranked opponent since opening day 2012. The Jennies have gone 3-3 against some pretty stiff competition their last 6 games leading up to today's show. As we record, the Jennies are preparing for a doubleheader against Missouri S&T at the South Recreation Complex. Jennies head coach Susan Anderson said her team has been playing well, but still has a ways to go.
We had a great spring break trip, and I think our girls really showed that they proved that they can play with the best of them. And they know that they have a lot to prove come conference. And the way that we started off at home, 4-0 in conference, our girls are so competitive that they know that they want to keep that tradition going.
The Jennies host Southwest Baptist at 2-4 this Friday.
The UCM baseball team has been struggling to find some consistency this season. The Mules are currently 12-13 and 8-8 in MIAA play. The Mules have split all 4 conference series in which they have played. Last weekend, the Mules went 2-2 at Missouri Southern, with each game decided by 1 run. UCM was back in action Tuesday at home to play a non-conference game against MIAA opponent Emporia State. The game was tied at 3 in the bottom of the 7th when the heavens opened and the team sat through an almost hour-long rain delay. The score remained tied until the top of the 9th when Emporia State scored 3 runs. The Mules were unable to respond, and Emporia State claimed the 6-3 victory. Despite his team's slow start, head coach Kyle Crooks still has high expectations for the Mules.
There is a lot of tradition at this program, and there is a lot of baseball left. There's no question. And when it matters the most is at the end. We had a weekend canceled, and that may, ultimately that hurts with getting games under your belts and finding your stride. Not negative at all. It's a fact. It is what it is. But expectations are certainly high here, and everybody feels the weight of that, and everybody knows that.
The Mules will try to push their record over the 500 mark this weekend as they are back in action at home in a critical MIAA series against the University of Central Oklahoma.
The Central Missouri Mules golf team shot a final round 310 in windy conditions to finish as runner-up at the University of Central Oklahoma Bronco Invite at Gaillardia Country Club. Every team shot over 300 on the final day of competition due to the windy conditions. The Mules finished at 25 over par, 601. UCM was led by Cy Moritz, who finished in a tie for fourth at 3 over par, 147 after a final round 75. Travis Mays and Teddy Jones finished tied for 15th place with 6 over par 150. The Jennies golf team jumped into 8th place at the Missouri Western Invite at the St. Joseph Country Club. They finished with a score of 669. Taylor Intrican shot a final round 82 and tied for 16th. Kelly Walker finished 1 shot back in a tie for 19th place.
Senior Madison Smith finished second in the heptathlon at the Angelo State Spring Break Multi. Fresh off her All-America finish at the Indoor National Championships, Smith was first among collegiate competitors with a score of 5,262 points. That bested her previous personal best of 5,239 that set last year. In the process, she also set a new school record for the outdoor high jump, clearing 5 feet 11 1/2 inches. Her score automatically qualifies her for the outdoor national meet and is the top outdoor effort on the young season. Also qualifying for the national meet was sophomore Katie Cassidy. Cassidy scored 4,553 points to provisionally qualify and set a new personal best. UCM assistant coach Curtis Brondike won the men's decathlon with 7,179 points, 151 points higher than second place. The 4th-ranked Jennies bowling team competed in the Vanderbilt Music City Classic March 6th through the 8th. The Jennies finished the tournament with a record of 10-4, knocking down just over 15,000 pins. That was good enough for 3rd place. The Jennies' last event of the season is the NCAA Championships, April 9th through the 11th in St. Louis.
After this break, we'll recap the conclusion of the Mules and Jennies basketball seasons, and we'll preview upcoming events. Stay with us. You're watching the UCM Sports Page on KMOS-TV Missouri PBS.
What if TV respected children?
They long to know that they're loved.
And taught children respect. Who says everybody can't master French cooking?
Bon appetit!
Why can't TV encourage millions of preschoolers to learn? All of us to wonder. And a nation to experience history as it was lived.
The dream shall never die.
And what if great art flowed into every living room freely? Give to your PBS station and support the people and programs that never stop asking, what if?
Am I ever glad to be in this neighborhood?
Look around you. 1 in 4 kids in the U.S. faces hunger. It's not always easy to see the signs, but in this land of plenty, there are kids that don't know where they will get their next meal. Join Share Our Strength in Food Network and take the pledge to end childhood hunger here in America by 2015. Learn how at NoKidHungry.org. Their next meal could come from you.
Once again, the Mules and Jennies basketball teams have demonstrated they are among the top squads in the NCAA Division II. The Mules advanced to the regional tournament for the 3rd consecutive season, but were unable to defend the NCAA National Championship. UCM fell 71-60 to number 2 seeded Minnesota Moorhead in the semifinals of the regional. That closed the book on head coach Doug Carlskin's first season as the Mules' mentor, and a first successful season it was. The Mules won 20 games for the 3rd consecutive season as they finished the season at 25-7. Brennan Hughes, Rakeem Dickerson, Dylan Deck, TJ White and Preston Bruns were all named all MIAA honors, and Hughes also earned National Association of Basketball Coaches All-Region recognition.
The Jennies saw their 9-game win streak snapped in the semifinals of the MIAA tournament when they fell 59-53 to #1 seed Fort Hays State. The Jennies finished the season 21-9. It marks the 4th consecutive season and the 6th time under head coach Dave Slifer, the Jennies have won at least 20 games in the season. Coach Slifer notched his 600th win as UCM head coach in the Jennies' 70-64 win over the Missouri Southern in the quarterfinals of the tournament. Junior guard Shelby Winkleman, senior center Ravoya Howard, and senior forward Jasmine Thompson were all named All MIAA.
When we come back, we'll preview our upcoming UCM Athletics schedule. Don't go away.
I choose to be a champion.
I choose to be inspired.
I choose the perfect fit.
I choose red to experience learning to a greater degree.
Choose red. Choose the University of Central Missouri.
I decided to do a planned gift because I want to ensure that PBS will be around for my grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren. I would hope that others, when doing their estate planning, would include their PBS station.
Your donation of support makes programming on KMOS possible. For more information, call 1-800-753-3436.
My PBS station is part of my community. That's something I really value.
Central Missouri Athletics has a busy week ahead. Let's take a look at our upcoming events for Friday, March 27th through Thursday, April 2nd.
It's officially spring and time to get outside and take in some Mules baseball as they go head-to-head this weekend at home with the Broncos of Central Oklahoma. They have a few days off before meeting Lincoln at home next Thursday, April 2nd.
Jennies softball takes on Southwest Baptist at home tomorrow in a doubleheader. Saturday they meet for another doubleheader, but this time it's in Bolivar at Southwest Baptist. The Jennies wrap up the week Wednesday, April 1st against the Lions at Missouri Southern in Joplin.
This weekend, track and field muse outdoors as the Mules and Jennies will travel to Pittsburgh to compete in the Pittsburgh State Open. That meet begins at 1 p.m.
Now let's focus on the links. Mules golf is ranked number 17 in the latest GCAA poll. The Mules travel to Miami Shores in a sunny Florida for the Berry Invitational March 30th and 31st.
The Jennies golf team heads north to the University of Nebraska-Kearney next Monday and Tuesday, March 30th and 31st for the UNK Women's Invitational. Good luck to all of our UCM athletes.
It's time to see how Central Missouri is stacking up in the MIAA standings. This week in baseball, Missouri Southern comes in at number 1 with a 10-2 record, with Washburn just 2 games back at 12-4. And Missouri Western is 11-5. The Mules are tied for 7th with Northeastern State at 8-8.
The Jennies softball team is undefeated in conference play with a 4-0 record. That places them in 3rd in the standings behind Pittsburgh and Emporia State, who are both sitting at 6-0.
We'll keep you updated here on Sports Page, but you can also find scores and updated schedules on UCMathletics.com.
You can also watch select home baseball and softball games live on Stretch Internet. Just go to UCMathletics.com for web scheduling. Also, viewers in Warrensburg, Clinton, Knob-Noster, and Sedalia can watch replays of those webcasts on our sister station, UCM TV Charter Channel 989, Channel 12-6 if you have a digital tuner.
When we come back, we'll meet a UCM Athletics alum who demonstrated what it means to be a true student athlete. Don't go away.
Live with a human for a while and you get to know a few things. Like, I know she's actually not a morning person. I know she does strange tricks for no treats. I know that water makes her howl like crazy. I even know how the floor stays so clean. She's quick. But the one thing I will never for the life of me know is how she gets so tiny and inside that box. Natalie, how do you get so tiny?
What if we could unlock every mystery?
We're at the beginning of a revolution.
That's a huge discovery.
That's never been done before, ever, anywhere.
No one feeds our curiosity like PBS. Give to your PBS station so future generations can keep asking, what if?
Our last show, we featured Delaney Walker, who was a member of the latest class inducted into the UCM Athletics Hall of Fame.
This week, we're going to feature another of our outstanding alums and a fellow 2015 UCM Athletic Hall of Fame inductee.
Corey Kleinfelter starred on the mound for the Mules baseball team from 1997 to 2001. He ranks among the school's leaders in career wins and innings pitched and was Conference and Region Pitcher of the Year in 2001. Kleinfelter also embodied what it means to be a student athlete, as he also was a first-team academic All-American in 2001. Here's the tribute video made for Kleinfelter's induction into the UCM Hall of Fame.
Corey was just an outstanding young man, first of all. Great student, great character kid. Was someone that we saw, projected had potential. He was a strike thrower, didn't throw real hard. But, again, he was a kid that we felt like might progress through the system and be very productive. But, again, I think the first thing was the fact of his work ethic, his character, and the type of person he was. Corey, his work ethic was off the charts, Nickname himself, he was a guy that went about his business, Coach's dream guy who went about his business, never heard a peep out of him, but was always first in everything he did. He had that drive, that passion to be first in all the conditioning tests and anything that we did. He was the first one to practice, the last one to leave when the guys go down, and just he'd be in the bullpen and guys going, what the heck is he doing down there? Well, he was working on his motions, trying to make sure, repetition, and he would down there before practice by himself and stay down there practice, after practice, and just working on his mechanics, making sure he's one of those guys that knew he had to be right mechanically, and he was just driven to be the best he possibly could. And like I said, he really built himself into what he was. I think Coach McCann pushed some of the right buttons. I think he had some karate lessons early in his career that Coach McCann thought would be beneficial for him.
Well, we always went for the guys that threw strikes and showed great composure, which I think is important, especially at a top Division II program where you're going to have to win some games at the end of the season, get the Division II World Series, and compete in some pretty high-pressure situations.
Coach McCann would give him a task saying, Corey, your arm's too slow, your backside is too slow, so Corey would go to work on trying to be more explosive. And if you would give him a task, he would do everything he could to accomplish it. And like I said, just one of a coach's dream, a kid that just didn't say much, let his actions speak for themselves. To go to the championship game and again, gave up a few runs, if I remember right. He gave up some runs in North Florida. We were down, but he hung in there, and just, again, some Corey Kleinfelter toughness, kind of persevered through it, kept us in the game, and, of course, we had a great deal comeback in the 8th and 9th against North Florida. And I was thinking, man, you get somebody else in there, but I could just tell Corey, he wanted the ball. Coach, I got it. Goes back out there and pitches a great 2 innings to close that thing out against North Florida. Congratulations, Corey, on a well-deserved earned honor. Just a young man that I use as such a great example. And honestly, you've given me the opportunity to take a look at kids and to be patient, because of just knowing how great your work ethic was. See a young man with great work ethic to know that he can accomplish anything he puts his mind to. You're a coach's dream, to be an academic and athletic All-American is just, that's unprecedented. And again, just great congratulations to you. It was well-deserved. And like I said, I'm very proud and fortunate to have coached you.
Great to see UCM student athletes excelling on the field and in the classroom. Corey Kleinfelter definitely deserves his place in the UCM Athletic Hall of Fame.
Before we go, congratulations to the UCM Athletic Training Student Quiz Bowl team that won the district title at the Mid-America Athletic Trainers Association annual meeting and clinical symposium in Omaha, Nebraska. The UCM team earned a new Quiz Bowl record of 4,070 points. UCM will now compete at the National Athletics Trainers Association National Convention and Clinical Symposium this coming June. The team includes seniors Jacob Kentz, Emily Dalton, Kelsey Wansing, and junior Gerard Sadler.
And congratulations to Central Missouri senior forward Brennan Hughes. Hughes has been selected to play in the 2015 National Association of Basketball Coaches Reese's Division II College All-Star Game. Hughes will represent the East team in that game, which will be played as part of the 2015 NCAA Division II Men's Elite Eight in Evansville, Indiana. The game will be played Friday, March 27th at 7 p.m. at the Ford Center in Evansville.
Thanks for sticking with us. We'll be back next week with more on the Mules and Jennies athletics. I'm Brianna Blocker.
And I'm Jason Katz. Thanks for watching Sports Page on KMOS-TV Missouri PBS. We'll see you next week.
I think right now to keep it going is we had a great spring break trip, and I think our girls really showed that they proved that they can play with the best of them. And they know that they have a lot to prove come conference. And the way that we started off at home, 4-0 in conference, our girls are so competitive that they know that they want to keep that tradition going. And I think it's great that we're getting back at home to play here. They're excited to be back in front of their home crowd.
Support for SportsPage is provided by Union Station, Crossroads to Technology, a one-stop shopping source for technology needs, campus-compatible computers, software for Mac and PCs, and much more. Located on campus on the lower floor of the Elliott Union in Warrensburg. Union Station, Crossroads to Technology. And promotional support for SportsPage is provided by 1450 KOKO and 98.5 The Bar. 1450 KOKO and 98.5 The Bar, the radio home of University of Central Missouri Athletics.